They'll be calling you a radical. This town always looks good in snow. So Weber State basketball in Tulsa should be a classic. Should be really a classic. So it's that time of year, right? This is a backdoor bracket buster game, I think, because yeah, they're 7-7, but Oral Roberts has a 21 game winning streak at home. 21 game winning streak. Home court matters, baby. I mean, we all know that. So let's get on this. The incredible Dillion Magic Jones. I named that a couple years ago. Now, you think Magic Johnson's the first basketball player ever named Magic? No. A sports writer named Magic Johnson, when he was in high school. Whoa. I think he had a game where he had 16 assists, 16 rebounds, and 30-something points in high school. He was all that, but even later in life, Magic, what a player, oh my God, said that his favorite players growing up were Bill Russell and Marcus Haynes. Everybody called Marcus Haynes Magic. Marcus Haynes was called Magic. All those years, everybody called him Magic. So, I think it's the perfect name for Dillion. Now, I was looking at some old stuff I had last year when I came out because I had my chest split open last year, open heart surgery. I was looking at some of his games and I was reviewing. I have, good footage of his sophomore, his junior, and I looked through them all and I'm like, oh my God, has he grown? His evolution as a player, but his evolution even from last year to this year blows my mind. He's epic. He's going to keep evolving. He's going to be an NBA superstar. And like I talked to him the other night, I think you're going to play point guard, Dillion, in the NBA. I really do. He's not going to be this role player. He can come in. That's what all these scouts are thinking. That's all changing. That dynamic is changing. That buzzer beater he hit was epic here. But he's got a sore knee. He plays hard. He goes down at that rim hard. But I just saw some footage that he was on the practice floor in Tulsa. So is he going to play? I think a lot of people thought they'd rest him, try to get that knee a little stronger, but it's a national television. I think the opportunity's great. Too great. I think he's got to play. And I think he'll play, well, when doesn't he play big? When doesn't he play huge? He always plays big. He's the most honest, consistent player I've ever seen since Michael Jordan, John Stockton, and Karl Malone. Those guys are so honest, it was unbelievable. So his style, he's big, he's thick, he's strong, the way he moves, the way he positions himself, the way he rebounds, the way at the rim. It's Adrian Dantley stuff. It's Magic Johnson. It's Charles Barkley. I remember the first time I saw Charles Barkley live because I remember watching him in college and I was like a big fan of his. And then, in the NBA, to the Jazz game, and I saw him and I'm like, really? That's up. It just blew my mind how short he was, comparably. He played like he was 6'9", 6'10", Of course, Magic was that, but Dillion's gotten bigger, stronger. He's so much bigger through the shoulders, through the hips, whatever. But his shot, we were talking the other night, he and I, and, he was talking about Zion. And I'm like, no. That's not the comparison. You're a way better. People say the book on him is not a great time. You're not paying attention. This guy is an epic three-point shooter. 4 for 4 last night, the other night in the first half from three. And he logo Lillards them. He's got it all. He's got that high dribble where he cuts through. His dribbles improved. His dribbling blows my mind comparably just to a couple years ago, even last year. So this should be a classic. I got bad news. Be careful what you ask for, Of course, count your blessings. A year ago, I was in right across the street, having my chest split open. emergency. I have a pacemaker now, but my furnace went out last night. And the high, well, the low here on Monday is going to be 8. You know, and my water heater ran out the same week. So, you know, pricing, what they were and what they are now, oh, fuck. So it's kind of like right before you go in for open heart surgery. They say, hey, right before you're standing in the room with the butchers and everybody's right over you, you're dying. And they go like this. Hey, sign here. What are you going to say? No? Hey, you need a new furnace. You got, it's almost like they have a gun to your head. What are you going to do? Let all your pipes blow up if the house freezes out? We got, you know, this has got to be placed quick like. Sign here. What a jerk this has been. You know. So, now think about this. You think the odds makers, they always get on to shit. Sometimes they're a little late, but they're not like sports writers, because when it comes to money, we've been destroying the point spread. They had the point spread destroyed here against the Jackrabbits. That Jackrabbits, Weaver went to sleep the last 3 minutes, and that Jackrabbit team was solid. I mean, Mayo, I think that's another credit to Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, when he played here, and what Damian Lillard evolved was, what Damian does with his money, I'm not a fan of. Really not a fan of. But as far as the basketball player, forget about it. And his eye for talent. Dillion Jones played in the comp last year in the combine because of one guy, Damian Lillard. He was the scratch-in. Somebody got hurt, and he was the best player. And as I've told Dillion many, many times, I says, you know where I think you're going to play? I think you're going to play point guard for the Lakers. And he says, why do you think that? I says, I'll tell you what. You know who wants you? The team that spent all over Dillion Jones, and I mean all over him, and they would have grabbed him last year if he wouldn't have backed out in the second round, is the Celtics. I says, the Lakers and Celtics still hate each other. And the Lakers going to get a pick in front of the Celtics. They're going to take you. And I think it's irony because Sidell Threet's son, as the great Steve Klauke told me, he says, just remember, you know, he took over when Magic got HIV. I said, yeah, what a player. Sidell Threet's son is the point guard here. Who's the point? Well, the real point guard here is Dillion Magic Jones. Well, he's got another year. Oh, he'll take over for this Magic. And so somebody says, well, that's name not taken. I mean, it's an evolution, these players. It's the perfect name for him. That's his name. I call him, you know, DMJ, Dillion Magic Jones. And I named him that. And I remember I asked him, I run it by him, what do you think of that name? I asked him a couple years ago, and he says, God, you're making my head really grow now. I says, yeah, just like the rest of you. No, that's who you play like. That's who he got. Except Dillion Jones has a way better three-point shot than Magic Johnson ever had. Magic Johnson was not a... Magic Johnson couldn't shoot the three and didn't shoot the three. Well, he's 6'9". This guy can. He's only 6'6". He dribbles like him. He positions like him. But I'm talking about the consistency between, you know, rebounds and points and assists. I mean, he leads the conference and his steals. He's something else. So, Weaver's favored? Yeah. For a team that hasn't lost in 21 games at home, I got a hunch this is going to be a classic. I like Weaver in a overtime game. Now, if I was gambling, you know who I'm going to pick. But I'm not. So, this should be a classic. I remember Lillard's bracket buster here because I was full of cancer. And I came out with my nurse, and they're playing that great Texas Arlington team. I think it was his best. This place is packed. I sat with Eddie Tillman. I think it was Lillard's best game. And I was talking to Dylan. They didn't get on Lillard till after the season was over when they worked him out. He got no love here. He got no media attention. He got nothing. You know, till they worked, and they're like, and he played in the Nike Leagues too. So they kind of pseudo de facto knew, you know, but once they worked him out, they're like, you know, because Randy Ray didn't let him logo Lillard. Good anytime what. When he goes into the gym, oh boy, God, it drops. Get your beautiful coat all wet, God, dumbass. Yeah. It's been one of those days. Couple of days. When you're working out and you go out and you pop 10 for 10 35-footers, he didn't logo Lillard here. Randy Ray wouldn't have let him. He would have buried him on the end of the bench and he would have never played. But Eric's a different coach, thank God. And so this team's loaded. So Stephen Van Plankton, another great player, had the horrible game that he had just off shooting. That ain't going to happen again. And of course, Dyson Core's been unbelievable. KJ at the bench, solid. And then, of course, two, my favorite. His evolution blows my mind. I love that guy. And then they got the, the Swiss kid, and then the Europeans, Marco and Vivi. This team's loaded. This team's solid. And Dillon's got this hurt knee. He came out of the game with the knee. I was worried about it, but we got Joel Bass, Magic Fingers. Remember the great Hot Rod Hundley used to call Don Sparks, the jazz trainer, legendary Don Magic Fingers Sparks. Magic Fingers, the great Hot Rod Hundley. I love that guy. He's awesome. So, Dylan Magic Jones. I look for an epic one. That knee, I was worried. But it looks like to me he's going to play. So, we'll see. This is a legendary pro, like I told him the other night. I don't have players sign everything. I didn't have Lillard sign enough, but I did have him sign some stuff. But only two players I really have signed a lot of stuff is Rashid Shaheed while he was playing. And Dylan, I says, look, Dylan, I'll donate all this back to the school. And I'm not in anything for profit, if you haven't noticed. I'm not into it. I'm just getting by and surviving. Staying alive. Dylan, though, will never be another Dylan Magic Jones. Never in this building. Ever. Never. You're breaking every record this school ever had. Do you realize what kind of legendary players have played here? Willie Sojourner, Justice Thigpen, Ruben Nemhart, Jimmy DeGrafferty, Scotty Bamforth, Damian Lillard, Harold Larson on the show, Eddie Gill. These greats, to break these kind of records, Sieglin, Bamforth, Jarek Harding. Oh boy. Go Weavers, stand 10.